Welcome, everybody. I was on mute. Thank you for the feedback, Dr. E. Vales, and welcome. Welcome, everybody. Feedback. What an amateur move. So, welcome to Bushwhacking History in Buffalo with Berserker Bear. This is another episode, and I'm just going to give a presentation of my boots on the ground the other day from my adventures at Mount Albion Cemetery. Let's take a look at that. So I'm going to do a presentation of that, and stick around for the encore. I got a pretty cool encore. I'm going to show you a slideshow of my boots on the ground on location at Mount Albion Cemetery, as well as Soldiers Memorial Monument in the area of Brockport, New York. And then stick around afterwards because we may or may not have a cool encore, possible guest appearance. Maybe, could it be? So let's get right into it. It's going to be the Two Towers preview. And afterwards, we're going to ping pong some gravy. Let's show a brief preview, and I'll show you where I'm at. Sorry about the no audio, and I'll come in and dip in and say what's up to the chat. We are live here. PT Ripa, Paulo, good to see you. Dr. E. Vales, thank you for the feedback. Robert Kovacs, first on the scene today. Dr. E. Vales. Paulo, always sending good information and good feedback. Mr. Brees, my homie. Yeah, sorry about that. That was an amateur move. So, okay, without further ado, let me show you a little preview of riding around this place. We're going to be driving around the Mount Albion Cemetery, and Robbie used to snowboard here. This is his stomping ground. So let's show you where we're at on the map for correlation. You're looking at Buffalo. We're going to be at the Mount Albion Cemetery first. We'll zoom in here. They got towers at both these locations. They're very interesting, very cool. We climb this one. Robbie's got information on this. Okay, and we're also going to be going to Soldiers Memorial Tower, and Robbie has gravy on both of these. We're going to listen to it, and we'll ping pong afterwards, possibly with a cool encore. That's it. So about an hour ride for me Sunday. It was a beautiful ride. The frost was out. It was 9 degrees. It was cold. We were bundled up. So let's get right into it. Thanks again for coming, everybody. And let's present Soldiers Memorial Tower and Mount Albion Cemetery. Y'all, this is Berserker Bear here with Robbie.
Yo.
Where are we at, Robbie?
We are at Mount Albion Cemetery in Albion, New York.
Local gravy.
Yeah, established in like the 1850s or something.
You've been coming here
since
you were a kid?
Since I was a kid, yeah. We used to run to snowboard in here. We used to lurk around with our cars and drive recklessly. And
not on these terraces, but what I noticed when I first came in here is it's a huge building. Roll through.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on scene here. Robbie knows the local terra. He used to romp around here, like he said, as a kid. But what I noticed coming in here is it's a huge, massive hill, and it's comprised of a series of hills and terraces, and it's kind of similar to Forest Lawn Cemetery in Buffalo. So we're just getting acquainted right now, or Robbie's showing me the ropes or the roads, if you will, and we'll report back. We'll do a presentation on this. Well, you probably see us next in the next clip. So we're here on scene, boots on the ground, boots in Mount Albion.
Yes, sir.
Mount Albion Cemetery. Next stop is the Soldiers Memorial Tower, and look at how beautiful that is. Perfect. Look at that.
Yo, fun thing to note too. This is technically the Niagara Escarpment.
Okay, so
it's all built into the escarpment.
So we are a part of the Niagara Escarpment right now. Maybe that's why we're seeing all these terraces. This is amazing. So we got more to do. We'll report back, and you'll see more bushwhacking history in Buffalo with Berserker Bear and Robbie. Boom. Bending curbs. Yeah, bending curbs is right. Okay, so that's what we're going to see here. I'm going to slideshow what we went through. Robbie's going to detail both towers. I got a little bit of gravy in between, some architecture, some definition, some corbelling, okay? And we're going to ping pong afterwards. So thank you guys for stopping by. As always, I appreciate all of your feedback, all of your love, all of your support, your contributions over at MeWe. Check me out on Odyssey and my IG. You can get that at my YouTube page. Without further ado, I'm going to play the slideshow and stick around afterwards for an encore. Possible, if you pay attention during my slideshow here, you should actually take notes because Robbie does ladle a lot of gravy. But if you pay attention, you might pick up on what the encore is. So thanks again, everybody. Much love. Stay warm out there. It's snowing here in Buffalo pretty bad. Check out the radar here. We got it handled. Let's go. Okay, so we just parked here, and Robbie just said to stop by this place. It's the Reflection Pool, and it's got some gravy on it right here. Check this out.
Most of the structures throughout all this place, the tower we're gonna go to here in a minute, the chapel, all the arches, and a lot of the other old structures are all red Medina sandstone, which was locally quarried in the next town over back in the day. Everything here is not Medina sandstone, but it's actually done by a cement company in the early 18th century.
Oh, there's water in there?
Yeah. You can stand on that grade if you dare.
What? How is it not frozen?
All of this was, I don't know, all this stone protecting it, thermal mass.
How is this not frozen right now? It's, what is it, like 9 degrees out right now?
Yeah, something like that.
You can stand it. Sing.
This is the bum hut, yo.
This is crazy, bro.
Yeah, so all this is cement that's poured and dyed to look like Medina sandstone. They tried to imitate what was done here. I think it was like 60 to 80 years before.
Is that right? You said I could walk on this?
I did it before, but we're talking a decade or so ago.
Oh, it's got rebar hanging over it.
I watched the kids swim in this for $5.
You could probably skate on this. I mean, obviously it's in the cemetery. We were respectful, but it's probably, well, you know what? It's
not that deep.
It's interesting that
It's drained right now. It's deeper in the summer.
It's 9 degrees out right now. How is that not frozen though? That's kind of blowing my mind. Careful, homie. I ain't trying to go swimming. But this is amazing. So which is the Medina sandstone?
None of it. This is all imitation.
This is all imitation? The whole thing is?
What I read.
Okay, poured concrete made to look like the sand.
And the monument that goes with it.
And this, okay.
I forget why they built this monument. I read it, but I can't remember why. I mean, this plaque right here might tell us.
Absolutely amazing. It's 9 degrees out, and there's shimmering water in there. And like Robbie said, I could dig that. It's underground a little bit, but it is cold out here. So there you go. That's one facet, bushwhacked.
Yeah, so that pillar there. See it when you truly
Okay, so that pillar in the distance right there, that's the real sandstone. Robbie's saying that's what this and this was made per what he had read to look like.
Especially the red block in here that you see in the walls.
Okay.
Is made to look like it, but if you look at the tone of it, it's different. You could tell it's imitation. It's too red. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, yes, they couldn't get it correctly right. Yeah. Creation and the mimic of it, right? Always. So this is a fish. Yeah, at first glance, yeah, you know what? It does. I'll tell you, this is beautiful, bro. Okay, so this will be the real official.
Yes, sir. And Medina was known for its sandstone back in the day. A lot of old churches and stuff like that, all built with this thing. From what I understand, they don't mine it in the area anymore. I don't know if it's or quarry it. I don't know if it's because they can't, or like some like eco restrictions, or
I could see that.
like
Historic society maybe type of deal, something like that.
or if they just like clear quarried all of it and now they don't have none.
You got a great shot of the sun right now, bro. This is gorgeous. Very cool. I really appreciate this, homie.
Let's go do the mountain road.
Let's go do it. This one is a kicker. This is unbelievable. It's very similar to Forest Lawn Cemetery. There's obelisks all over here, and not only are there terraces all over, it's the layering in here is unbelievable. I was just telling Rob that I feel like I'm in the movie Legend from Tom Cruise. I mean, this, I don't know if I can give you scale here. My pen. This goes up. Is that where that black obelisk is, Rob?
If you come just over to your left here and get out of the kind of shade of that tree, you see the tower on direct sight.
You got eyes on the tower?
Yeah.
Oh,
there he is.
That's where we're going?
That cedar.
Yep, or even in the sun.
That's a big old cedar. Look at that.
Okay, wow. Maybe you'll get scale with Robbie. Walk forward. You'll get scale.
I'm a hobbit too,
How dare you? Yo, hobbits crush. You can't hear them. They're real sneaky, them hobbits. You got hairy feet too? Look at this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's big.
Absolutely beautiful, bro. Yeah, look at the scale. Out in the middle of nowhere, at least as far as me being a city boy. About an hour and a 15-minute ride here. That's unbelievable, Robbie. Wow. Amazing. Okay, this is so we just come around the bend here, and man, this is I've never seen anything. So I said that this isn't a pond, is it, Robbie?
No, you're good. No, you're good. This is all
I said that this is there's. Oh,
this little monument's crazy too to the church family. You got the urn with the linen draped over it. A lot of logos there.
So this is like terrace. Boom, 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 boom. I said that this looks like a Forest Lawn Cemetery. I'm going to say right now, this takes Forest Lawn Cemetery. You're good, bro. And excuse my language, shit's all over it. This is unbelievable. You've seen the scale up at the top up there. That's probably, I'm saying, a football field away. And there's actually somebody walking up there. They'll give you a scale. Go figure.
Yeah, a lot of walking goes on here, like I was telling you.
Okay. A lot of people come here to walk.
And walk their dogs, stuff like that.
That'll give you, how perfect is that? Gives scale. So I'd say that's about a football field away up there to go up in distance at least. And we were just talking, why would you had, when I was driving here, you knew you were going uphill. And this looks like terraced mounds, like you said, Robbie. Like the ancient mound builders, they say, but this is unbelievable. And we haven't even made it up to the tower yet. Wow. Wow, wow. This is unbelievable. Robbie probably wants to kill me right now because every 2 minutes I'm like, yo, stop.
No, you're good. You're good,
So
bro.
this is crazy. The Lord, for those who aren't familiar with the faith, works in mysterious ways, but for the faithful, he works in very matter-of-fact ways. That's what I like to say. And it's as we come up to the tower, I'm like, Robbie, stop. Okay, that's my last name. I mean, you guys know my email address. It's on my YouTube. So Kirby's my last name. The first headstone that I see when we get pretty much eyes on target, you know, at foot level, headstone reads Kirby. It doesn't get more synchronistic than that. That's the man upstairs giving you a fist bump, if I've ever seen one. Very, very cool. We're here. This place just keeps getting better and better. Where you at, brother?
I'm over here. I'm just looking at everything.
My man knocked one out of the firmament here. This is crazy. Thank you, bro.
You're
Look
welcome,
at this.
dude.
So we're up at the top here.
You love it.
So check out that beauty. And this looks like symmetrical, almost like there's a.
Check this. These ones are all families in the same one.
I don't want to step up.
They
Look
get
at
their name carved into their little freaking stone on the outside.
this is I don't want to sound redundant. This is blowing my mind. There goes that lady again. Same for scale. If I can get her in view. Remember the one guy in Lockport with the monocle? The Monopoly guy?
I don't know if we were sleuthing him or he was sleuthing us.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to put it, bro. This is okay, so then let's take a walk. Let's see what's going on here, man.
You trying to find at the top?
Assassin's Creed style. So you guys obviously used to come here as kids, huh, Robbie?
Yeah. So
Not just snowboard down it, but yeah, this is the top of that terrace.
we used to always take people from out of town, stuff like that. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh really?
You know what I mean? Or we come down here, a bunch of kids, because I went to high school here in Albion. I graduated from here. Like I was telling you before, when they were making those indestructible phones, that was like an OtterBox built into your phone.
Yep.
Back in the late 2000s. I tested my my Casio indestructible phone by tossing it off the top of this thing. It survived the first time, and not the second.
We can actually climb up this thing.
Yeah, spiral staircase, bro.
Oh my
They
goodness.
rebuilt it in '71. So, I don't know if you want to go first.
This is unbelievable. Tablets.
So there's 9 marble tablets in here, and they have I believe it's 463 Americans that lost their lives in the Civil War.
So it's a memorial
This is a monument too. Yeah. Yeah, this is a Civil War monument.
This is absolutely.
So for 11 years after the Civil War, which I think ended in 1855.
Oh, that's a good trivia for me right now.
And then 11 years, yeah, because 11 years in that time period, they raised money, and it was built in multiple sections because the town ran out of money a few times.
And they were trying to get this thing to get taken down also, you said?
Yeah, later on. But so after 1855, when the Civil War ended, the 11 years followed, or 1865, I'm sorry. In the 11 years that followed up to 1876, being the 100th year of the nation, allegedly.
17,
Was
yeah,
when they
100 years.
commemorated it. That was like the grand
Centennial
opening.
year.
Yeah, so centennial grand opening for this thing. And then funny thing about that, in 71, an Albion board justice actually put it to the table to tear it down because it was in disarray. And a bunch of kids from the school stepped up and did a whole Save the Tower thing.
Interesting.
And they raised 30 grand, had this new wrought iron staircase put in, had a bunch of stonework done, and in 1976, the 202nd centennial, it was recommemorated.
Wow, that is some gravy right there.
Yeah.
There you go. That's that local Terra knowledge. Robbie's crushing
you
it.
want to go up first, or you want me to do it?
Let's we'll catch you at the top here, guys. All right. Try to get a good video of this. Going through these little viewing slits and they're crosses. Celtic crosses, possibly even.
Oh, it's built in Gothic revival style too, late Gothic. All the structures.
Are you sure it doesn't say?
But I would put quotes around the revival part.
This is not. Are you sure it doesn't say Tartarian, Robbie?
It might. I haven't checked Wikipedia in a minute.
This is nuts. Dude, I should have brought. Again, I'm caught in a dark spot without my flashlight, and it's in my car. This is nuts.
I didn't bring my headlamp. I got a dope new one.
This is actually getting smaller and narrower.
It gets narrower, yeah. If you're claustrophobic, my bad.
No, I'm good.
Don't worry. It's starting to get light again. We're going 68 feet up, by the way. I don't know if you got
Like I've been telling my subs and my fans, they light at the head of the tunnel. It's not a freight train coming.
Oh, that sun feels good, bro.
It's daylight.
It's like a new dawn.
Wow.
68 feet up. We're on roughly a 650-foot bluff. Or not a bluff, what do they call it?
Escarpment?
We're
Wow.
the escarpment, but the way it protrudes out into the landscape, they have a funny name for it. I forget what it is.
Outcropping?
Yeah, it's essentially an outcropping. That's what a protrusion is, but they have like a funny specific name for it. I blame Burn.
Wow. What a sight.
Like I said, there's Lake Ontario.
Wow. This is gorgeous, Robbie.
Isn't it cool? Blow it up there.
This is one of the coolest things ever. Knocked it out of the park, brother. So I'm driving, and Robbie gives me a call. We're going over to the Soldiers Memorial Tower, and he gives me a call, and he's like, "We gotta check out these churches." And here we go. He's passing. You know a neighbor.
People pull up to the stop sign. They're like, "Yo!"
This dude gives me a call, and he's like, "Yeah, we gotta check these churches out." I'm like, "Yeah, pull on over." And we're right at the corner of what town is this?
This is the village of Lockport. Erie Canal's right there. There's a lift bridge right there.
That's Erie Canal?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a
Another canal boom town.
So, like I said in my last video, Robbie is the one that told me about these the corbelling, and that's a good example right there. So,
think of it like old world drip edge. If anyone knows anything about doing roofing work, is when you're wrapping the edge of it before you start shingling, you have what's called a drip edge that goes on, where it protrudes it out just a hair. And the reason they did corbelling, not only is it ornate most of the time, but it's also functional in the fact that the water doesn't run down the face of the whole structure and erode the joint works of everything, because that's what water does. It erodes stone. So it will do that too. So the fact that they step it out gives it an area to drip out past the structure.
interesting. Also, it looks aesthetic, pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
Kinda-
Functional and
Form and function.
yeah. And design and beauty.
Yep. So it kind of mimics I've likened it to like crown molding on the inside, makes it look prettier to the eye.
Totally.
Yeah, and then we got across the street here, boom, and there is a nice one down the road.
You need any coffee?
I'm good, man. You know, I had a coffee on my way here with a couple shots of espresso. So yeah, just stopped and bushwhacking along the way to Soldiers Memorial.
Yes, sir.
Tower. See you there.
That wind bites.
That wind bites, don't it? Brick City out here.
I snooped it from the woods.
We are sleuthing right now. We're walking up to this place right now. We just got here on scene. Where are we at, Robbie?
We are just outside of village of Lockport. I think this is technically the town of Sweden. And this is the Soldiers Memorial Tower. This is similar to the one that we were just at in Albion. I think they had different constructors, but they were both done in the Gothic, late Gothic revival style. And the only two monuments done by all these towns here in New York that lost people to the Civil War, most of them are like some cannons that were commemorated as a monument. Most were like a bronze statue of some high-ranking dude, like the Upton Monument in Batavia, you know, for Major General Upton, and like other stuff like that. These ones they were the only two that built towers for their dead.
Interesting.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. How dare you? So you would come here as a kid too?
This one.
Would you mess with?
We actually found when we were doing a bunch of abandoned building sleuthing as teenagers. Just were super into them and going into them, old grain mills, different stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I found this on Google Maps back in the day. I think Earth was like in its infancy then. We're talking like 06, 07.
A little proto sleuthing.
Yeah, and we actually got to it from another cemetery, just like we were just in Mount Albion. There's Mount Olivet, which is just in the woods over here off to the like right of this tower.
Mount Olivet?
We found a hole in the back of the fence at Mount Olivet, and we followed the trail through the woods and found this tower.
Wow, really? Yeah. That's awesome.
And that was before the town in 2012 came in. It was like rediscovered, and this green trail was made from Owens Road that we're taking right now.
What was that road? What was that road again?
Owens Road.
Owens Road.
Owens Road, yeah. And we got a couple
synchronicity
graves that are still out here. There's graves that are routinely cleaned by some of the neighbors.
Oh wow!
This is also a Civil War.
I didn't know. Okay,
and most of the bodies were moved, but there's still a handful still in the area.
And we're in the town of Sweden, you said, huh?
Yeah.
Sweden. Hold. What are you saying, buddy? Hold up. What'd you say?
I was reading that some of the neighbors in the area that have properties adjacent to it actually come up here and kind of make sure these aren't getting destroyed.
Maintain them.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. God bless.
Like this one's been falling down. They gently laid it back up. Somebody did. They didn't try to put it back up on top where it's probably going to keep tumbling and chipping.
Sure.
But they just leaned it gently up there out of respect.
Very nice.
Yeah. Lots of white-tailed deer. You see all the deer print?
I do. I noticed that walking in. That's what those prints are?
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's that local gravy. All right, I'll catch you up at the tower. Okay, so we got real eyes on target here. And what was that, Robbie?
Oh, I was saying when the town built the fire department here that we just parked at to get here in 2012. The site was kind of rediscovered when they picked that site for their fire department. And I think it was actually, again, dead set to be torn down because it was structurally compromised, very so. When we found it back in like 06, 07, it was really hammered. So as you can see, they leveled the top off. They solidified it, quote unquote, and they put these wrought iron gates. None of this was here. We were able to.
Oh, so we won't be climbing the spiral staircase in this one?
No, it had one, but it was in disarray in the late 50s, 60s, just like the other one.
Similar.
It was rebuilt in the 70s.
At face value, similar door
Very
to the Mount Albion. Are we on some sort of a hill here?
Yes, sir.
Type of deal? Still part of the Niagara Escarpment.
Goes all the way to the Genesee, right around Irondequoit Bay.
We'll check that out afterwards when we're going to track back on this one. In the presentation, I got an idea what we're going to do here. Formulating it as I was driving over here.
Dude, I never realized it, but the Niagara Escarpment cuts up and it cuts around the top, almost the perfect perimeter of Lake Huron and the top perimeter of
Yeah,
Lake
it keeps on
Michigan.
going all the way over to Wisconsin.
It's crazy, yeah.
It's huge, yeah. And again, the Niagara Escarpment is what they say geologically is what caused the formation of the Niagara Falls as it receded up the Niagara River.
Falls Trail. There's a Niagara Escarpment Falls Trail. And Niagara Falls of Niagara are just like the most glorious and well known of the falls.
Did you just say glorious? Love it. With the sun at your back, bro.
Yeah. And it's kind of a bummer that this is
Closed off.
yeah, well, there's footprints in here.
What's up?
This one came about 20 so years after the other one.
Okay.
I forget the dude whose name it was. I actually had we could always do that later too, but the architect of this, I had his name. I can't
Oh, we'll track back over that. I'm gonna let this run with some cool tunes,
yeah.
and then I'll pull you in on the live. Yo, we'll go over it. So this will all play first, and then we can track back over it, and then you can go over all the local gravy that you know, and we'll have something to work against.
So what do you know about black limestone?
Dude, I'm not good with the masonry.
Well, just as a
We can look it up.
Geologically, do you know about anything about black limestone?
I don't.
So I've been reading some interesting stuff. A lot of the standard narrative for black rock says that it was burnt, and that's what gave it its black tone.
So Black Rock rings a bell, obviously, because the Black Rock Riverside.
That's what I'm talking about. Is Black Rock and Buffalo? I'm just mentally in your zone right
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
Here at the tower.
I'm clicking. I'm picking up what you're putting down, bro.
So I originally read that it was like burnt, and then like some of the settlers, the French and the English, also like burned it, and I didn't know if it was something offensive. Maybe it was some sort of effigy or something. You know, what was Black Rock? And then I came across some other stuff that said that it not any stuff like that, but that Buffalo along the Niagara River there was known for an outcropping of black limestone, which is fairly rare.
Interesting.
But known geologically in this area.
Wow, that's some gravy right there. Yeah, we're gonna ladle some more.
Rock was black limestone.
Okay.
Fortress.
Yeah, and that could have been what the maybe that's the masonry. Okay, we can start ping ponging here.
I've been wanting to tell you that.
Yeah, maybe that's the masonry that the Vauban style, if it was there, was made of.
Right. Or maybe built on top of some sick outcropping of natural stone. You know what I mean? Natural fortifications built up and played off of.
Oh, this might have been some type of solstice thing here because did it have a cap on it before?
It did. It I don't know if it had a top.
It did.
It
Okay.
had a staircase on the top. Remember the photo I sent you with the three different 1955, 1971, and then 2004 or whatever?
Over the window.
Right.
Very, very okay. These
But
are
I don't doubt alignments with astronomy alignments with these window placements.
He's starting to sound like Scott Walter. This guy. That's a compliment. He's a history channel.
Yeah, no,
He would go places.
I love archaeoastronomy.
Please accept my apology, Scott Walter.
You know, honestly, thinking about orientation right now, bro, with cardinal directions, it's possible. Because I'm facing almost perfect south. Like, I would say this window here almost faces perfect south. This blocked in one.
Interesting.
Perfectly west.
Yeah.
So you got to think that window, which is slightly southwest, is going to capture winter solstice sunrise or sunset. And the one that's facing slightly southeast would be catching winter solstice sunrise.
Very cool, because I got the sun in view right now. Why you're saying that? Like
facing southeast.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hold on, yo. What I want to say is, like, you could clearly see that we're up elevated, right? And maybe it was graded out over time, but you know, and it almost, you know, it looks rounded. You know, I'm just thinking out loud, but these ain't, you know, the mountain builders, whatever. We're looking into it.
Okay, so come back into the chat. Zaralath, what's up, man? Welcome. How you doing? Snowing in Buffalo. Hippie Shake, good to see you. Always. Good supporter of the channel. Four Jacks, what's up? Trail to Table. Gringote Bear, good to see you. So, what did you guys think of the presentation? Certainly like some feedback, of course, and hopefully you got some audio here. And yeah, it's snowing crazy in Buffalo. Where's everybody from? And you got any crazy weather going on? Because we just got about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet in Southern Ontario. Sasquatch, what is up? Welcome. Good to see you guys. We're snowed in here. Oh, slow-mo. Slow-mo Moon Boogie, thank you. Appreciate that. I really do appreciate the feedback, whether it's critical or giving props, of course. And yeah, we're snowed in. We got about almost 2 feet in less than 24 hours. Pretty crazy. How you guys doing up in Southern Ontario? You're right across the way. Yes, please, Kara K. Always, thank you for showing up. You're always in the chat and comments supporting. Please hit the thumbs up. And you know, I told you before that I had a little bit of an encore, and if you picked up on, does anybody know what maybe the encore might have been? I did say it pretty blatantly, actually, during the presentation, the slideshow. Possible memorial towers, smokestacks, possibly. Southern Ontario Sasquatch says, yeah, we got a lot today too. Over 60 centimeters. I forget the metric system over there in Canada. Did you mean to say 60 centimeters A with the rising inflection? Yep. Okay. So Brees hits the nail on the head there with his comment. Mr. Brees says, endless beautiful field trips in the Buffalo area. Lucky place to live. I agree, buddy. And thank you very much for that. Anybody remember Mrs. Frizzle's Magic School Bus? Call me Mr. Frizzle, taking people on adventures through Buffalo. So without further ado, I thought I heard a knock on the door, and let's bring in an encore. Someone made it through the snow, possibly. I don't know what's going on here. Hello?
This guy. This guy.
Oh, who's?
You hear
Oh,
me?
hey, I can hear you. Can the
What's
crowd hear you?
up, Mr. Brees?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure if I let that in pretty good or not, but
Perfect.
I wanted to kind of do a little sneak attack like we talked about, Robbie, and bring you in afterwards. And we do have a little bit of an encore. I'll show that video where you pulled off into the side, the Erie Canal one, where you were ladling some more gravy. But yeah, this is does everybody have Robbie's vocals? Do you want to do a little sing, or do you want to sing a song, Robbie, or just just say gravy?
La la la. I
So
don't
what
know.
we're gonna do now is we'll introduce Robbie. He was at my Lockport. We did Lockport together. Check that video out. And he's the one that obviously dropped all that information and grew up in this area. So I was grateful that he had me on tagged me along as a guest and did a great job bushwhacking and showing me around. That was really cool, man. So where did you grow up? What town did you grow up in? I know that you were a skater back in the day. You said that you were doing snowmobiling on the Erie Canal. We'll talk about that when we show that video.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I actually recorded you when you were talking about the gravy over there at the Erie Canal. So you're talking about snowmobiling on the
How
canal when
dare
it was
you?
frozen with your dad. That and you're doing something interesting with your farm that you have, your house, and you're kind of doing terraforming to where you're kind of shaping it to a star fort or
Yeah.
Vauban style bastion fort, man.
Yeah.
Let's ladle gravy on that and just go back and forth. So you're Robbie Radbear. Where did you grow up at? And maybe talk about your skate park real quick and what you are doing with your farm, and then we'll lead into your gravy. Robbie also did a deep dive because he's doing that with his land. He did a deep dive on the Vauban style forts, and so I put out that Vauban was the uh, architect of these things. He wasn't the only one. Robbie did a serious deep dive on it and is still doing it, and we're going to ladle gravy on that. So, without further ado, Robbie, where'd you grow up, real quick, and just tell us about, you
Dude,
know,
I've been all over the joint, really. I mean, like we were talking about at Albion the other day, born in Buffalo Hospital, Children's Hospital. So,
my man.
we got that in kind. And, been all over Western New York and Northwestern PA and Southern Ohio and all over the Terra, really, in this area. Probably spent the most of my life in Holly, which is that little town that we drove through that's in between Albion and Brockport.
Was that the one that
Um,
we stopped at, where those Erie and where we
yeah,
seen those buildings?
yep, where I
Okay.
pointed to that big old school building and everything
So
that I pointed to you at.
this is what we'll do. Yeah. So that was you seen actually a neighbor there.
Yeah, I seen my homie no, so that was the village of Brockport where we stopped there and we were seeing the
Oh, okay.
buildings. The little one that we went through by where those wide waters, that video
Okay.
that you're going to show later is
Gotcha.
that little town that we passed through on the in-between.
So you were snowmobiling on frozen Erie Canal with your dad, snowboarding down Lockport terraces and terraces in Mount Albion.
Yeah, I know the Mount Albion one always sounds crazy when you say it, but you noticed a couple
That looks
spots
like
like
a
that.
mound to me, dude. That looks like a burial mounds or those ancient builder mounds. Like, let's look at the terracing right quick. This is
Dude,
what's
the
cool about it.
terracing blows my mind. I mean, I've been there hundreds of times and it
Yeah,
still
I
blows
want to
my
see what the chat says about this. To me, it looked like it was a burial mound terraced. That when we were driving up to it, it looked like it felt like you were going up a hill, even on the outside of it,
Right.
And look at the terracing
Let
and
me see if I can
the
pull this
scale
up
of
real
it is
quick.
unbelievable. It's when I say it was like Forest Lawn Cemetery, it's like Forest Lawn Cemetery on steroids because of the massive hill. So how tall is that hill?
I
And
want to say
I'm
it's
sorry to
like,
interrupt you about you telling about you growing
there
up
you
and stuff
good.
like
Can
that,
you
but
still see me and hear me? Because I'm on a different tab right now.
I can still see you and hear you. You're coming through perfect. Does everybody else have good audio?
I'm trying to look for a tidbit I wanted for you. So I think it's like, I don't know. Real quick, you got the screen. Go into my Two Towers folder in my photos I shared with you.
Can you see the
And
screen now?
Hold up, let me come back. Yeah. So can you go into my albums? It should have. I have it all split up by albums because that's all just kind of. Yeah. See that? That's
I don't think I can go into your albums, dude.
okay. Click those two right there. Those top two right there are those topographical maps of both
Okay,
those
so this
sites.
is Mount Albion Cemetery topographical map. Wow.
Yep.
Can you see
Snapshot
it?
of that topo. Isn't that crazy?
It's
So what does
unbelievable.
that say? I think it's what 600 foot above sea level. Is that what the gradient says there?
Yeah, let's see. So 600 feet right here. It might be a little bit higher because it's a
I think
6.
so too.
Yeah, like you. Okay, and then the tower was how tall?
68, I think, for that one. I think the other one's like 50
Dude,
on the money.
when
Or
we were on
was
top of this thing,
almost 600 or almost 700 feet up.
disorientating. Yeah, it was getting narrower as we were going up to. I'm like, dude, are we gonna end up like it was getting smaller? I'm like, are we gonna end up in like Mad Hatterville?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, listen. So the top was amazing. Very, very cool, dude. This is one of the coolest things that I've ever did. So, what are you doing? Okay, you grew up in the area, romping around. That's why how you know that like the back of your hand. You actually a neighbor seen you when we stopped randomly, and you're doing that with what are you doing? What is your aim and ambition? What are you doing with your land? And I'll just go over some pictures that you have here and give you some ideas.
Okay. Yeah.
Robbie
So
owns a farm and is a farmer and likes to do a lot of different cultivating stuff and growing his garden and everything. So he's very in tune with nature in that respect. He's got local knowledge also, and he's like I said initially, he's doing something very cool with his. Or he has aim and ambition to do something really cool with his farm. So ladle in, and then we'll talk about Vauban and his other buddy.
okay. So I'm trying to see if I can pull it up, but Google Earth is not cooperating with me tonight.
Yeah, if you can't,
But,
if you like, you might lose bandwidth, bro.
yeah.
We don't want to get Ethernet Gary up in
So,
here, bro.
I don't need him on my case. So I'm in a weird spot. I'm north of the escarpment. I'm about 2 miles off the shore of Lake Ontario.
What's your
And
town again? I'll put it up on the screen.
what's that?
What's your town name again?
Kendall, Kendall. And then I'm in a weird spot where I have a lot of water catchment all coalescing toward me.
Okay.
And I need to divert certain water around me because I'm surrounded by commercial ag. So I have a lot of runoff of things that I don't want coming at me, essentially. And so in ways to divert that, but also catching water that's sheeting off my land, I've proposed the idea, and I've been laying it out on Earth to actually kind of, I guess, terraform my land into the shape of a 4-pointed star. And if I can get more, land later, who knows? Heck, we might have hornworks and ravelins, who knows? And
Love it.
but and then it's also function. It's not just like trying to build a fortress in the New World or something, but like doing it to where we can garden it and farm it, and also use some of the water catchments with dams and swales and spillways and other I don't know, I guess landscaping and hardscaping techniques to capture water into a series of ponds that I could flood the perimeter of the star if I wanted to.
Also make a moat.
Yeah, essentially, but it would be under control. It wouldn't be flooded all the time. I could flood certain areas of it if I need be, and it wouldn't be necessarily for like defensive, but if it's all planted with like permaculture design around the perimeter, which is my scope, to where I'll be flooding essentially a zigzagging ditch across contour, and it'll have fruit and nut trees planted along either side of it, berry bushes, strawberries, other ground covers.
Like you were telling me. That's what was interesting to me, dude, is what you were saying about how you were trying to get it to catch water, right? Designing it in such a way where it catches rainwater and funnels it into ponds that you have, or into maybe even like in your ground under your house, so you have it to add to your water table maybe. fascinating. I can't. When you said that you were going to do that, man, it blew my mind.
I got
And
some cool ideas. I wish this would come up.
well, you've already like terraformed part of your garden that you were showing me when I was over, right? Like, or like angling it in such a way
Totally.
so you can catch the water.
Totally, and deflecting it, because where I've started my gardens, I mean, they're ever expanding. I think I don't even know how much square footage of gardens I added in 21. Too much, but more than I could keep up with, that's for sure. But I have an issue with my current garden plot, like my main production plot. That's not just like flower beds here and there, or, you know, ornamental stuff around the house, but actual like vegetable production stuff, to where it's actually in the lowest spot, one of the lowest spots on my property. So it tends to flood, which destroys the soil. It collapses the structure and air
Okay.
comes out of it. It's just a nightmare. It gets compacted.
Very interesting, man.
So
In
trying
doing,
to deflect it. We're playing topographical judo.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's fascinating that you do. And now with the ambition that you have to do that, you were looking into Valbon,
Right.
and what'd you
And just
what'd you
stars in
what'd you
general, you
come up
know?
with, bro? Yeah, yeah. What you were explaining to me about Valbon wasn't the only one that was doing it, and you brought up the Holland company, or I'm sorry, the Dutch, right?
The Dutch, yeah, the Dutch school of fortification.
So do you want to just
And
explain briefly what you dove into? And again, this is going to be um, a compendium of work, bro. We're going to do more lives like this in the future, so our fans know and everything. So okay, you got a question here. How many acres are you talking about? How big is your what? How I mean,
I'm
it's not going to be a huge star if he wants to shape it in the shape of it, and play
right.
off the angles, of course, right? It's not going to be like, I mean,
It
Fort
wouldn't, it'll
Ticonderoga.
be close, but it won't be to scale for most of your like for instance, I was measuring the walls on Fort George. If you want to go to Earth and pull up Fort George, just
Do I?
skip and a jump across the Niagara River from
So yeah, so
Niagara
where
there.
Robbie is on screen, you can see he's just south of Lake Ontario. I've been to his house before, um, and that's his aim. So, okay, you said Fort George.
Yeah, just on the
That's where the hip
Canadian side
player
there.
is for. Yeah, we could, dude. On top of that tower, amazing.
So the bastions at Fort George are like 50 something feet thick. I might get mine 12 to 15. I'm working on about 1.1 acres right now.
Oh yeah, Fort George is right across from Old Fort Niagara. Okay, I got you.
Yep. Yeah, right south of Old Fort Miss. Yeah.
There you go. There. Okay, that's an idea of what you're kind of working off of as far as like what an outline or a size.
Mine would be more like George in the kind of rectangular. So go down south. It would be what, southeast of where you're at now, right? Where is she? Right there. So
Couple of them
mine's
have
more
that in James.
rectangular in shape, not like a pentacle, not a 5-pointer.
Okay. Notice how too that there's forts on both sides of the river here.
Mm-hmm.
You got Old Fort Niagara, you got Fort George. It's not like that at the head of the river. I wonder why.
Right, and you would have had Fort Mississauga on the same side as George
They're all
at
over, man. That's
Mississauga
another
Point.
video for us to go through all these forts and use that map layover that I have. That's more gravy. So yeah, Robbie's got ambition to terraform his farm in such a way to utilize um, location of the sun and river, or excuse me, water runoff from rain.
Yeah. So to answer the question
Shout
better
out.
that homie had there, 1.2 is, I think, exactly acres is what my lot is. So it's micro farming. I got huge into what they call like market gardening. Um, and it's kind of a branch off of like French intensive gardening, which evolved from like French monastic gardening of the medieval ages. And yeah, it's essentially like high production, high rotation, small scale type thing. But we're kind of moving away from like fresh produce type production, and we're moving into more niche things because we're on such a small spot. Every space has to make sense and be profitable, if you will. So tricky. It's not like doing 100 acres and planting it all in corn and, something like that.
With that, dude, it kind of leads us into the gravy you were talking about. Did you discover what you did about now? What was the other gentleman's name? You know what? We'll bring that up right now because when Robbie,
Menno van Cohorn or something like that. I don't know. I'm not. My Dutch is terrible.
You're Dutch.
My Dutch. So So him and Vauban were like arch rivals in their day, and in reading Vauban's backstory and reading about a lot about his life, they keep kind of, having this ego battle kind of throughout their whole existence and prominence. And eventually, even at one point, Vauban's guys capture a fort of Cohoons and even capture him in the fort. And he offers them like a deal to come work for him. And the guy tells him pretty much to go fly a kite.
I can't believe I can't find this guy's picture. I thought I had it ready queued up. I'm sorry. His Cohoon, is it Cohorn?
I think it's Cohorn. I think I noticed there was an R in there. I think I was saying it wrong the other day.
Okay, so let's look it up right now, Hipfire. So in your deep dive, you not just Vauban did these star forts, also a gentleman named Menno, Menno, Van, Toehorn. Okay. Now, what is up with this dude? He was also doing them as well.
But in the Netherlands, in the lowlands.
And the specific difference from him and Vauban was it incorporated water, you were saying?
Yeah, kind of like the Italians. You got to think, it's also star forts and bastion forts or Vauban style forts are also known as, what do they call it? Trace Italien or Italian or whatever. I don't know how you would say it, but it's French essentially for the Italian outline. So you see old Italian star forts that predate the French ones too.
What was interesting is that he incorporated water because probably in the Dutch, there, like you said, I was looking for your picture of their coastline. Is it in here? Absolutely unbelievable. The Holland coastline.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't have one. No, I wish I did in mine. I don't have access to my external
almost all littered with star forts. Almost, it looks like.
Yeah, and then so they did. His crowning achievement was the Hollandic water line, which is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So it's a bunch of star forts and natural rivers, spillways and dams that are artificial, and they all connect with floodgates and different stuff to where they could essentially flood the whole inner Netherlands from invading forces coming from any direction.
That is very significant. Okay, so
legendary.
Holland waterline wasn't Vauban, it was this guy. And look at what it says in his Wikipedia. Menno van Cohoorn. I'm going to read this, okay? It says Menno Baron van Munchausen. Great movie. Check out my IG. I drop movies there. If I drop the movie, you should watch it. Okay. Menno Baron van Cohoorn, March 1641 to March 1704. Was a Dutch soldier and engineer regarded as one of the most significant figures in Dutch military history. In an era when siege warfare dominated military campaigns, he and his French counterpart, Vauban, were the acknowledged experts in designing, taking, and defending fortifications. So for what we need to go through right now, that's all you need to know. So Vauban was doing it. Also, this homie was.
Yeah.
And he had water involved where you were saying something about where he incorporated the water table. So if people were trying to tunnel under those earthen embankments, what would happen? Can you explain that?
Yeah. So go back into my my Google Photos and snag. Let me see here. Where you at? Go back up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Dude, that tower that they had plans for at Fort Miss was sweet. I don't know where the heck it went now. So that was supposed to be at Fort Mississauga out there that we were just looking at. Okay. And that's where that big block that you see that they have there, that monument, that's allegedly the base of that. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
We should go out. Oh, that's Canada though.
I know, right? I thought about that too.
Like this.
Anyways, scroll down. I wanted to find a picture. It should be in there. I have it under my Vauban folder. And it's what I was trying to explain to you the other day in that video, which was there it is, all the way to the right, that yellowy looking one. Yeah. So I don't know if you could zoom in or not, but this is Vauban's siege tactic for taking stars, because like
Lato.
you were doing your reading on him, he was not only the defense expert, but the siege offensive expert too. And that was
The
part of
reading that
Vauban's
the reading
brilliant.
that I had to remove
Yeah.
for my
So
copyright strike, I'll get that one out again. But he's going off of the reading that I did from this book right here. The
oh yeah,
reading
yeah.
that I did from this book, guys. I'm sorry I had to take that video down. Sorry I interrupted you, Robbie, but
No, you're good. I
I'll
forgot about
get the
this.
reading out again. Okay, so it's not available, but I'll get it out again. I got to repackage it. Okay, I got a copyright strike on that, or warning. So sorry. He's going off of the information of Vauban that I read off in that. You said that when you were listening to me reading it, you were like, "Yo, I was going over that."
Yeah, I was literally picturing this diagram right here in my head. So this is Vauban's siege tactic for taking a star, essentially, to where you dig a series of parallel ditches with zigzagging perpendicular ditches that connect them, so they can't musket fire directly down your perpendicular ditches. That's why you see angle de tir à ricochet, which means the ricochet. Wait, what is it? Ricochet shot tunnel or something like that, or
Ricochet.
the angle shot ricochet or something like that. I can't remember. I was deciphering all this stuff in French too. It's interesting. When you start to read all of it, you get your first, second, and third parallels. And
I cannot believe that you did when you were going over the gravy. I can't believe that you had all that information in your head about this, bro. Amazing. So, this is specifically different than what you would say Vauban. So when I was questioning you on it, you were saying Vauban was more like dry land, maybe buffering
well,
water,
he
where
still did a
this
lot of the
dude was.
like masonry palisades too, like big. I mean, they were star formations, but a lot of his have like 80-90 foot walls to them still in some spots,
And this
and
dude
that's
had more
why
incorporated water
he did
within.
some.
Okay.
But like you got to think, in the Netherlands, you're always close to the water table, so you don't have a choice but to incorporate it.
That was the difference, what you said. So they had a closer water table, so he had to incorporate water into the designs, which is another layer, adds a whole nother layer, which
Right. So that's
fascinates me, dude. Wow.
right. And then that's what was part of the brilliance of Cohorn, is so like with the trenches Periales that we were just showing, so that's how they took Fort Niagara. If you remember Dustin's reading from that, they talk about digging a series of parallel trenches, and they inch closer and closer. And what was it, 18, 19 days later, they made it all the way to the star and they took it. And it was interesting to note too that the designer of Fort Niagara was the commander of it at the time, and he was taken with the fort, which is Pierre Pouchot.
Wow. That is gravy. See, that's what I love, man. Had no idea that you went that deep.
Yeah.
Dove in head first, man.
Right.
So
And then part of the brilliance of the Dutch was they couldn't do this with Dutch star fortifications. The trenches Periales, Vauban's siege tactic, wouldn't work because because Cohorn had his stuff all set within inches of the water table. So if you started digging these series of parallel ditches, they would flood.
that's ingenious.
Right. So you ain't doing that to take his. And
It
then a
would
lot of
flood
the
all your
remote.
equipment. You wouldn't be able to advance in that
Right.
fashion anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
You're
Wow.
storming it old school style, essentially.
Wow. Gravy. So cool. So, Robbie, terraforming his own farm into one of these, Vauban. Now we got to incorporate Menno. I like Menno.
I like
Wow.
Menno, dude. And then
Never
his
heard of the
stuff's
dude though.
more pertinent to what I'm doing, because I'm north of the escarpment. So I'm in the lowlands. I'm 400 foot lower in elevation than the base of the tower we were on the other day. And
Wow.
from where I'm at, I think it's 400, maybe it's 3 something, but it's close. I'm like 200 and something foot above elevation.
So good.
But
Yeah, that was awesome. So, I had such a good time, and I appreciate you tagging me along, dude. This,
of course.
it blew my mind. And then when you started ladling the gravy, and you know what? Let's show another. There goes How Long Bear. Us Bear. We We get together, us bears. So where's the other one video I wanted to show you ladled about when we went to that canal. I want to find that. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to play this. It's 4 minutes long, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll tail it out. This is some more gravy, local gravy that Robbie has about this area, how it connects with Erie Canal, and some family gravy with his dad about frozen Erie Canal.
Pull off the road in some backwater, New York State. Just pulls off the road and about to look at this canal we got going on here.
Bowler, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. How are you? Holding down to Missouri, I hope.
Now that's what I'm calling blazing new trails, bro. Tracker?
I only really see one set of tracks. It looks like one coming in, one coming out.
Fox, you think?
Yeah, if it was coyotes, it'd be more than one. Foxes are loners, coyotes moving packs.
True that. So what do we got going on here, right? What is this? I noticed that on our way back here, this formation. What is this exactly?
So they refer to it as the wide waters. A lot of these small towns out here between Buffalo and Rochester have them, almost every one actually along the way.
What's it called?
A wide waters. So it's essentially a spot where you can see it there. The canal bumps out and gets mad wide, and it's almost circular, and then it narrows back in after the bend and goes in. A lot of from what I've been able to find, historical narrative says that they're to stop like static pressure, PSI, or hydrostatic pressure, water pressure, from blowing the berms out.
Really?
Apparently it helps. I don't know. More water seems like it would make more PSI to me, but I don't know.
What comes to mind is that like to avoid a water hammer, maybe what they call it.
So like blowing out one of the berms and then having it flood
houses
or gullies. You know, you got to think.
Or blowouts that happen like in New York City where the sewer caps come off like a water hammer. Like is that an analogy?
Maybe.
Because of the water pressure, it travels through the pipes and they cause a water hammer. It hits a weak point.
Right. Well, especially in this area, you could see from looking across. You know, this is all earthened up.
So this is not connected.
Like earthen dams, essentially holding water.
Interesting. So we're gonna look at this again from the Google Earth view. We might be doing it right now. Actually, this might be like an encore. Is this connected to the right? Is this connected to the Erie Canal? Oh, so this is the Erie Canal. There we go. Boom. Look at this. I mean, this is just unbelievable.
You good or no?
Yeah, I'm good. Oh yeah.
You want to walk down to it or no? It's up to you.
Oh, well, let's get a little bit of video, and I want to see.
You don't have to walk all the way down.
Oh no, I'm not going to walk all the way down there, but I just wanted to get how beautiful this is.
And then what's cool about it, why I wanted to show it to you, like actually down in there, is a lot of these people who have properties along it own the property in between the road and the canal too. So that whole area is filled with docks and stuff too.
Is it real? Oh, fishing.
You can dock, and we come up here and fish.
What kind of fish you pulling out of here, like you said earlier?
Rock bass, smallies, catfish. You know, usual suspects, largies sometimes, more so a lot of rock bass.
This is so cool. And you know, I've seen pictures. Dude, they used to ice skate on the Erie Canal.
Yep. Yeah. I've rode snowmobiles on it too. You just got to be careful because it doesn't freeze all the way under some of the bridges. So you better be full rip. So you hydro.
Full rip. You know that terminology.
So
I love it.
Straight down, you see this bridge here for Redmond Road.
Yep.
You see in the distance past it, the lock and bridge, the next one past it. Can you see that?
Yeah, on the phone, I think it's coming in.
Yeah. So I used to live on the left side of the canal. There's an apartment complex right by that lock, and I used to live there when I had a bum leg. I tore ligaments in my leg and broke it and all sorts of stuff. And I just hobble myself up there with my fishing pole, and I'd put my leg over the lock, and I'd just sit there.
Find a way to get a line in. Find a way. Banging them. There you go. We won't go hungry here. So I guess maybe we might do an encore, but we'll do a live. Robbie, that was amazing.
Right?
Thanks, brother.
Anytime.
I appreciate it.
Anytime.
And we probably will come back here in the summer and fish this spot if we can. Can we?
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
There you go. That was awesome. Can you guys hear me? Let's get my where I can where's your audio, buddy? I'm trying to find out where that was. Can you guys hear me? Appreciate that.
Yeah, that was me. My bad.
Where was that again? Do you know a crossroad? Just so we can show where we were with that.
Oh yeah. Do Canal Road, Holly, New York. Holley.
Yeah, so that more infrastructure, you know. Is it Phoenician infrastructure or Basque infrastructure or Viking infrastructure? That's what we're going to be doing here, man. That's my aim. Watch my Niagara Falls video, guys. Robbie's hip to the game too. So we were alongside around here somewhere, Robbie.
I think so. I can't tell. It's so hard to tell from.
Yeah, you know what? My bad. I should have already had it, but anyway, that's where we were. Not too far away from there. I might be able to find it. My Google Earth is wigging out right now. I don't have that many windows open. What's going on here?
Dude, mine won't even load. It keeps crashing every time I try to open it. So maybe
we're getting grabbled. But we had a good presentation, I think. Is everybody all right in the chat here? Say what's up to Robbie. I appreciate everybody coming by. We're going to wrap it up soon because I don't want to go too long, and I want you guys to know that we're going to be doing more of this stuff, and it's part of what I have to present to you guys is doing work like this. The deep dives get a little bit cumbersome, so I'll probably be doing a lot more boots on the ground. But I got Robbie as a partner here now, so I know he's definitely down, and that was a great time. You got any final words, bro? You tell it out, or any parting wisdom? Skál Odin, of course, and God bless Most High.
Right. No, not really. I don't know.
I think that the gravy that you no man, what you said, what you presented was amazing. When you dove into doing the Vauban and the Star Fort, I had no idea that you did what you did. I knew you were doing something with had that idea of the Star Fort with your land, which is completely gravy, but I didn't know that you did the research that you did. So if nothing else, we have that to work off of to ping pong back and forth as we do some more boots on the ground. So we got more coming for you guys. And again, if anybody has any questions or anything, you can email me. It's at my YouTube page. I can get in touch with Robbie as well. And we're going to be doing nothing but this type of work going forward. Let me bring you guys over to my YouTube, of course. I got to plug myself, right, Robbie? You know? Oh, not that one. That's my backup one.
No.
Oh, you didn't see that? Eye. Yeah, you see that? Yeah.
The eye.
A little bit of a troll. Yeah, the Eye of Sauron, right?
Yeah. Dude, the more I thought about the two towers analogy, the more
that's fitting. There you go. Actually, it kind of works. Yeah, the two towers.
Love it.
So yeah, this is my YouTube. If you go to my top page here, picture, it takes you to my IG. I do movie truth drops in here, games, local stuff about, my Well, here's crazy winter. Can you believe the winter or the snow that we got in one night, man?
Bro, crazy. Like when we talked.
This is Niagara Falls. This is my homie from Niagara Falls.
Yep. Socked in.
We're definitely socked in here in Buffalo. Snowed in big time.
Same. I spent most of my day shoveling.
Yeah, 100%. We're professional shovelers up there too, not just bushwhackers. Odyssey's a backup for me too. So me and Robbie got more coming back for you. Thank you guys for coming. Yeah, the Dutch land, the Holland Land Company. Got a lot of work to do, guys. So from Robbie Radbear and Berserker Bear, thanks for showing up. That was a presentation of Mount Albion Cemetery and the Soldiers Memorial Monument outside of Lockport, New York. And we'll get some more boots on the ground for you coming soon. Please like, share, and subscribe. Keep your heads up and your faith up. As always, I'll report back. Keep it sleuthing.
Later. Thank you.
Robbie, my man.